I'm County Executive Jessica Fitzwater, and I'm proud to introduce a budget centered on 3 priorities: expanding opportunities for all students, helping working families make ends meet, and protecting our most vulnerable residents. Our budget makes critical investments in these areas without raising taxes on our residents or businesses. Strong schools are my top priority. From my time working directly with young learners at Oakdale Elementary School, I know that an excellent education is critical to a child's development. Good teachers help kids expand their horizons and create meaningful opportunities for students to thrive. In this budget, I'm proposing more than $500 million for our public schools, fully funding the Board of Education's budget request. This is the first time since becoming a charter county that we have fully funded FCPS. For the 4th year in a row, we've proposed record funding for our schools. If the County Council adopts my proposal, we will have increased education funding by more than $151 million, or nearly 40% this term. I am also proposing an investment of $63 million in school construction and renovation projects in this year's budget. We face 2 challenges: building schools to meet the needs of new communities and renovating schools to support well-established neighborhoods. Meeting these needs requires strong partnerships. I'm grateful to our County Council for their support and our allies in the General Assembly for all they do to bring home state dollars for school construction projects. I'm also grateful to Frederick County Public Schools for their responsible stewardship of these resources. Over the past year, we came together to celebrate groundbreakings at Middletown Elementary and Middle, Yellow Springs Elementary, and Linganore Creek Elementary. This fall, we will welcome students at the brand new Linganore Creek Elementary, where we have gone from a groundbreaking to a ribbon cutting in less than a year, a new record for a school construction project anywhere in Maryland. And this summer, renovation work will begin at Hillcrest Elementary and Twin Ridge Elementary, completely funded with local property tax revenue that we dedicate to aging schools. Plus, the school construction proposed in this year's budget will support the next phase in the Brunswick High School project. We will also make progress on career and technical education this year, with a $1 million investment to begin implementing the results of a recent study, which is available on the Division of Economic Opportunities website. Some of the study's recommendations require long-term systemic change. Others can be implemented quickly, and our Director of Economic Opportunity will work closely with our education and workforce partners to make strategic investments in our programs. Career and technical education gives students an advantage in entering the workforce, but many workers, especially younger ones, need help to make ends meet in this economy. Frederick County isn't alone in experiencing rising costs. It's a problem across the region and around the country. In this budget, we prioritize housing and childcare initiatives to do our part to make this a more affordable place for working families to live. We are already making progress on housing. Earlier this year, we announced a public-private partnership that will bring 150 new units to county-owned land on Himes Avenue. We released our housing needs assessment, which found a need for more than 30,000 new homes over the next decade, and showed that more than 20,000 of our neighbors are cost-burdened due to housing costs, spending more than 30% of their income on housing and sacrificing on food, healthcare, and other basic needs to make ends meet. We've developed a 5-point plan, which calls for building new homes, increasing funding for affordable housing, preserving existing affordable housing, updating policies to facilitate more building, and dedicating more staff and resources to housing programs. As introduced, the budget adds additional resources to our Housing Initiative Fund, supported in part by increased recordation taxes collected from data center developers. The Housing Initiative Fund supports low-income homebuyers and renters with loan programs and grants. We also include new positions to support affordable housing programs and funding for new senior housing at our Monteview campus. We will also make progress on childcare this year. As introduced, the budget includes 2 initiatives to help working families access affordable, high-quality childcare. In the short term, we will stand up a pilot program to provide sliding scale scholarships to help low-income families enroll their 4-year-olds in private pre-kindergarten. In the longer term, we plan to identify county-owned buildings and land that can be converted into high-quality childcare facilities, and we included funding in the budget to begin this work. Working families are not the only ones struggling in this economy. Older residents who want to stay in their homes are having a harder time too. That's why I'm proposing expanding our eligibility for our senior property tax credit so even more residents can feel greater relief. I also heard the advocates for our seniors who spoke at each of my budget town hall meetings that they enjoy the high level of service provided by our Division of Aging and Independence and want to see more investments in programs and facilities. As introduced, the budget fully funds the Division of Aging and Independence's budget request and includes funding to support the development of the much-needed new senior center in Brunswick. The deaf and hard of hearing community also showed up at our budget town hall meetings this year. We know deaf residents, especially those who are older, face unique challenges and barriers to accessing services, which is why I'm proposing a full-time position dedicated to serving seniors at the new Maryland Deaf Community Center. This position will be integral to providing culturally sensitive and fully accessible programming for Frederick County's deaf seniors. Partnering with organizations like the Deaf Community Center help us meet our residents where they are, which allows us to meet their needs more effectively. Not every challenge can be or should be met exclusively by government. Partnerships are often the best way to solve complex problems. In this budget, I propose investing in a new partnership to help our most vulnerable families by providing seed funding for a Frederick County Family Justice Center, which will put law enforcement, social service providers, and others in a centralized location where they can provide coordinated services to residents who experience domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, child maltreatment, and elder abuse. The Family Justice Center will put individuals and families experiencing trauma at the center of the system so they can get the life-changing support they need. This would not be possible without our partnership with the State's Attorney's Office, our Domestic Violence Coordinating Council, and many other critical partners who have been advocating for this collective impact approach. Our first responders are an important part of this approach and are essential to our quality of life. Earlier this year, we broke ground on the new Green Valley Fire Station and dedicated a portion of Route 80 to Battalion Chief Josh Laird, who tragically lost his life in the line of duty. This year, we will move forward with Phase 3 of our Division of Fire and Rescue Services Tactical Staffing Plan, as recommended in the Laird Line of Duty After Action Report. We will also invest in a new Carroll Manor Fire Station in Adamstown. In this budget, I also propose continuing our long-standing partnerships with our nonprofit and agricultural communities. Our community partnership grants support nonprofit organizations that are focused on addressing homelessness and housing solutions, improving our quality of life, strengthening public health, and supporting the arts. In fiscal year 2026, we awarded grants to more than 30 organizations that are making an incredible difference in our community. I included $1.2 million in this year's budget to continue those partnerships. Several organizations that received these grants serve our immigrant community, which has come under unprecedented strain from federal actions designed to sow fear and tear families apart. We must do more to support our immigrant neighbors, which is why we are creating an Immigrant Affairs Liaison position, which will work with immigrant-serving nonprofit organizations and support our Immigrant Affairs Commission. This will strengthen our partnerships with immigrants and refugees who call Frederick County home. Another essential part of our rich history and bright future is our agricultural community. Our ag land preservation programs are critical tools for preserving the county's rural character, and we will continue to prioritize land preservation in this budget. We also heard from the Farm Bureau at our town hall meetings about the need to provide additional support to the ag business community, which is why we are adding a new business development specialist in our Office of Agriculture to help businesses innovate and grow. These are just the highlights of my proposed budget, a budget that ensures excellent services while continuing to move us towards our vision of a Frederick County where everyone can live, work, and thrive while feeling a strong sense of place and belonging. We fund these and so many other investments without raising taxes. Frederick County has one of the fastest growing economies in the region, and because of this strategic growth, we've weathered recent economic storms better than many of our sister jurisdictions. And as always, we budget conservatively, so our investments are sustainable. Today's announcement is the culmination of months of hard work and community engagement. I want to thank our FCG team for your dedication and accountability throughout the budget development process. Your hard work is both seen and appreciated today and every day. I also want to thank everyone who participated in our community engagement process by attending a budget town hall, completing our online survey, or sharing your thoughts over the past several months. Today's announcement is a milestone, but it isn't the end of the process. I encourage you to continue to make your voice heard as the County Council continues its work on the budget. It's been said many times that a budget is the clearest expression of our values. And I'm proud that this year's budget reaffirms our unwavering support for our public schools, working families and seniors, and the most vulnerable in our community.